In today's video, we will learn about time response specifications. So you can observe the transient response of a control system for a unit step input. So we specify the following functions as delay time, rise time, peak time, settling time, peak overshoot. These are the specifications of any time response characteristics of a step input. So first one is the delay time TD. So it is the time taken for the response to reach 50% of its final value. Whereas rise time is the time taken for a underdamped system to increase from 0 to 100%, and for an overdamped system it is from 10% to 90% of the value. Third one is the peak time. Peak time is the time taken for the response to reach the peak level for the first time is called as peak time TP. Settling time TS. So this is defined as the time required for the step response to settle down and to stay within specified limit of the tolerance level. So the tolerance is usually taken as plus 2%, 2% or 5%. That means 2 to 5% less than the final value. Next is the peak overshoot or MP. So the peak overshoot is the maximum value which is measured from the unity. Say suppose our final value is 1, then the peak overshoot is measured from 1 to whatever maximum value it is at the first peak, for the first peak. Say if the final value is not 1, then we can calculate the peak overshoot MP as C of TP minus C of infinity divided by C of infinity into 100. Say if final value is 1, we can directly find MP. If final value is not 1, then MP is calculated using this formula, where C of TP is the output at peak time and C of infinity is the output at steady state. Now we will obtain the expressions for all these specifications. First is we'll obtain the expression for rise time, which is TR. So we have seen that the output of a second order underdamped system which is excited by a unit step is given by C of t is equal to 1 minus e to the power minus delta omega n t divided by root of 1 minus delta square into sine omega dt plus theta, where omega d is equal to omega n into root 1 minus delta square and theta is equal to tan inverse of root 1 minus delta square divided by delta. Now, so the rise time for an underdamped system is taken from the time required for the output to reach from 0 to 100% of the final value. That means at time t is equal to tr, that is rise time, our response C of tr reaches the final value. That means assuming it to be 1. So we in this expression we have to substitute C of tr equal to 1 when t is equal to tr. So we get 1 equal to 1 minus e to the power minus delta omega n tr divided by root 1 minus delta square into sine omega d tr plus theta. So this 1 and 1 get cancelled. This cannot be equal to 0. So we have sine omega d TR plus theta equal to 0, or we have omega D TR plus theta equal to sine inverse of 0, which is pi. Or we can write TR is equal to pi minus theta by omega D. So theta we know it is tan inverse of root of 1 minus delta square by delta, and omega D is omega n into root of 1 minus delta square. So for a smaller value of TR, we need to have omega D to be very large. So this is the final expression for the rise time TR. Next is the peak time. So again we write the expression for the underdamped system, 1 minus e to the power minus delta omega nt divided by root 1 minus delta square into sine omega dt plus theta. We know what is omega d, we know what is theta. So at peak time, our slope of C of t should be 0. That means at t equal to Tp, dct of d by dt should be equal to 0. So we differentiate this and then equate it to 0 at time t equal to Tp. So on differentiating, we get dc of t by dt at t equal to Tp, which is equal to 0, that is equal to e to the power minus delta omega nt divided by root 1 minus delta square into cos omega dt plus theta into omega d minus sine omega dt plus theta into e to the power minus delta omega nt divided by root 1 minus delta square into minus delta omega n. So this we have to equate it to 0. So we have one thing in common, both the sides, e to the power minus delta omega nt. So that if we take to the other side, it becomes 0. So we will be remaining with the expression minus omega n root 1 minus delta square cos omega d Tp plus theta equal to sine omega dt Tp plus theta into minus delta omega n. So this omega n and omega n get cancelled. So we know that cos theta equal to delta and sin theta is equal to root of 1 minus delta square. So we can rewrite this as minus sin theta into cos omega dt Tp plus theta. We take it to the left hand side, so we get plus cos theta sin omega dt plus theta equal to 0. So this is of the form sin A cos B minus cos A sin B. So this we can rewrite it as sin of omega dt Tp plus theta minus theta equal to 0. So this it cancels. So sin of omega dt Tp equal to 0, or omega dt Tp equal to n pi. So Tp equal to n pi by omega d, or it is equal to pi by omega d for n equal to 1. So if n is equal to 2, it is 2 pi by omega d and so on. So the first overshoot occurs at n equal to 1. The second overshoot occurs at n equal the first undershoot occurs at n equal to 2. The second overshoot occurs at n equal to 3 and so on. So this is how we can write the expression for peak time. Next is the peak overshoot MP. So again for peak overshoot MP, again we write the response C of t is equal to 1 minus e to the power minus delta omega nt divided by root 1 minus delta square into sine omega dt plus theta. We know that the peak overshoot is nothing but the difference between the peak value and the reference value. So if our peak value is, say, suppose around 1.15 and our final value is 1, then 1.15 minus 1 gives the peak overshoot. Likewise, we have to, if assuming it to be 1, assuming the final value to be 1, we have MP is equal to C of Tp minus 1. So this expression we have to subtract minus 1. So that we get e to the power minus delta omega nt divided by root 1 minus delta square into sine omega dt Tp plus theta. So we substitute the value of Tp here by taking n equal to 1, and this is also Tp. We substitute it there. So we get MP equal to minus e to the power minus delta omega n into pi divided by root omega n into root 1 minus delta square, the whole thing divided by root 1 minus delta square into sine omega d into pi by omega d plus theta. So this get cancelled. So we have with us e to the power minus delta, this omega n get cancelled, pi divided by root 1 minus delta square, the whole thing root 1 minus delta square into minus sine theta. We know that sine theta is root 1 minus delta square. So this and this get cancelled, minus into minus becomes plus. So our peak overshoot is e to the power minus delta pi divided by root 1 minus delta square. If we want it in percentage, multiply this by 100. So this is the final expression for the peak overshoot. So using this formula, we can find the peak overshoot of any of the step response. The last one is the settling time, which is Ts. So the last one, settling time, Ts. So once the response reaches the peak overshoot, it has to oscillate and finally it has to settle down. So we take the settling time as within plus or minus 2% or plus or minus 5% of the final value. So for that, our exponential term e to the power minus delta omega n Ts is settling time. Root 1 minus delta square has to be within the specified limits. Assuming plus or minus 2%, this is 0.02. Or for this expression, what we obtain for C of t is for underdamped system. That means delta value is low. So if delta value is low, we can write this as e to the power minus delta omega n Ts is equal to 0.02. So if we simplify this, we get Ts is equal to 1 by delta omega n into 4. So we get this as 4 by delta omega n. If we consider 5% error, then this is 0.05. We get the settling time Ts as 3 by delta omega n. So this is the expression for the settling time. So all these expressions, we can use it to find the time response specifications for any system. So for all this, we had applied unit step input. Say if the step input is of magnitude A, and then for all this you need to multiply by A times. Hope this concept is clear. Thank you for watching this video.